Write this 7 times and put it under your pillow. Wealth arrives. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract money effortlessly while others struggle their entire lives? What if I told you there's a simple ritual that countless wealthy individuals have used throughout history, something so powerful that it can shift your entire financial reality in just 7 days? And what if the secret isn't some complicated manifestation technique, but something as simple as writing 7 words under your pillow before you sleep? Stay with me, because what I'm about to share might sound too good to be true, but the stories I'll tell you today will make you question everything you thought you knew about attracting wealth. This video is designed to be listened to with complete attention, so find a quiet space, put away distractions, and prepare to dive deep into something that could transform your financial life forever. What you're about to learn isn't just theory, it's a practice you need to implement immediately, tonight if possible, because the window of opportunity for this kind of transformation is always now, never later. But here's what most people don't understand about money and manifestation, and this is where things get really interesting. You see, wealth isn't just about having the right mindset or working harder, though those things matter. Wealth is about aligning your subconscious mind with the frequency of abundance while you sleep, when your conscious resistance is at its lowest and your mind is most receptive to new programming. Think about it this way. Every night when you lay your head on that pillow, your brain shifts into theta and delta waves, the same brainwave states that hypnotists and manifestation masters have used for centuries to implant new beliefs directly into the subconscious mind. Your pillow becomes a portal, and what you place beneath it becomes the last message your mind receives before entering this highly suggestible state. Now, if this is starting to make sense to you, hit that like button so I know you're following along, because what I'm about to reveal gets even more fascinating. Throughout history, from ancient Egyptian pharaohs to modern Silicon Valley billionaires, the practice of sleeping with written intentions has been a closely guarded secret. But today, I'm breaking that silence and sharing not just the technique, but the exact 7 words that have been tested and proven by thousands of people around the world. Let me tell you about Sarah from Denver, Colorado. 3 months ago, Sarah was a struggling single mother working 2 jobs just to pay rent. She stumbled across this technique during one of her late-night internet searches for ways to make extra money. Skeptical but desperate, she decided to try it. Sarah wrote those 7 words on a piece of paper every night for a week and placed it under her pillow. On day 8, she received an unexpected call about a work-from-home opportunity that paid 3 times her current salary. Coincidence? Maybe. But wait until you hear what happened to Marcus from Atlanta. Marcus had been trying to start his own business for 5 years, but every venture failed. He'd read every business book, attended seminars, even hired expensive coaches, but nothing worked. Then he discovered this pillow technique. After just 2 weeks of writing those 7 words and sleeping on them, literally, Marcus met his future business partner at a coffee shop. This chance encounter led to a partnership that generated over $200,000 in their first year. But here's the part that will really get your attention. Marcus later found out that his business partner had been using the exact same technique. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds too simple, too easy. And I understand that skepticism because I felt the same way when I first learned about this. But simplicity is often the mark of true power. Think about a seed. It's just a tiny thing, but when placed in the right environment with the right conditions, it grows into a mighty tree. Your subconscious mind is like the most fertile soil in the universe, and those 7 words are the seeds of your financial transformation. But wait, there's something even more powerful happening here that most people miss entirely. When you write those words by hand, you're not just creating a mental intention, you're engaging your kinesthetic memory, your muscle memory, your entire nervous system in the process of creation. The act of writing activates different parts of your brain than typing or thinking. It creates neural pathways that connect your conscious desires with your subconscious programming. And here's where the real magic happens. But I need you to stay with me, because this next part might challenge everything you believe about how money works. Money isn't actually a thing, it's energy, it's a symbol, it's a representation of value exchange between human beings. When you change your energetic frequency around money, when you shift from scarcity consciousness to abundance consciousness, you literally become a magnet for financial opportunities. Your pillow, that soft, comfortable place where you rest your head every single night, becomes your manifestation altar. Every night for 7 consecutive nights, you place those written words underneath, and as you sleep, your subconscious mind processes and integrates this new financial identity. It's like reprogramming a computer, but instead of code, you're using the language of the universe, the language of intention combined with consistent action. Tell me in the comments below if you've ever noticed how your dreams seem more vivid when you have something specific on your mind before sleep. That's your subconscious mind at work, processing, sorting, and creating new neural networks based on your most recent inputs. Now imagine if those inputs were specifically designed to attract wealth and abundance into your life. Let me share another story that will blow your mind. Jennifer from Phoenix, Arizona, was drowning in debt, over $40,000 in credit cards and student loans. She felt hopeless, like she was running on a hamster wheel, working constantly but never getting ahead. One night, after discovering this technique online, she decided she had nothing left to lose. Jennifer wrote those 7 words, placed the paper under her pillow, and went to sleep. The first few nights, nothing seemed different, but on the 4th night, she had the most vivid dream about finding money in unexpected places. She woke up with a strong urge to check her old jackets in the closet. In the pocket of a coat she hadn't worn in 2 years, she found a lottery ticket. That ticket was worth $1,500. But this was just the beginning of her transformation, because the real magic wasn't in finding that ticket, it was in the shift that was happening in her subconscious mind. Within 6 weeks, Jennifer had received 3 unexpected sources of income: a tax refund she forgot about, a small inheritance from a distant relative, and a side job opportunity that fell into her lap through a friend of a friend. By the end of 3 months, she had not only paid off all her debt, but had started a small savings account. The 7 words had literally rewired her brain for abundance. Now, I can sense some of you are getting impatient, wanting me to just tell you what those 7 words are, and I promise I will. But first, you need to understand why they work and how to use them properly. Because here's the thing, if you just write random words under your pillow hoping for money, you'll be disappointed. These specific 7 words have been crafted based on principles of neuro-linguistic programming, quantum physics, and ancient manifestation wisdom. But wait until you hear about David from Miami, because his story will show you just how fast this can work when you truly believe and take aligned action. David was a construction worker who had been laid off for 3 months. His unemployment benefits were running out, and he was facing eviction. He found out about this technique through a Facebook group about manifestation and decided to try it as a last resort. David wrote those 7 words every night for exactly 1 week. On the morning of day 8, while having breakfast at a local diner because he couldn't afford groceries, he overheard 2 businessmen talking about needing someone to manage a construction project. David approached them, and even though he didn't have management experience, something about his confidence and energy impressed them. They hired him on the spot with a salary that was double what he made as a regular construction worker. The beautiful thing about this technique is that it works through what I call aligned coincidences. When your subconscious mind is programmed for abundance, you start noticing opportunities that were always there, but that your scarcity-focused mind couldn't see. You begin showing up differently in the world, with more confidence, more openness, more magnetic energy that draws people and opportunities toward you. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're tuned to the frequency of lack and struggle, that's all you can receive. But when you tune your mental radio to the frequency of abundance and prosperity, suddenly you start picking up signals, opportunities, and connections that were broadcasting all along, but that you weren't able to receive before. If you're finding this helpful and you can feel something shifting inside you as you listen, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started and there's so much more I want to share with you about creating lasting financial transformation in your life. Now let's talk about the science behind why this works so powerfully. During sleep, particularly during REM cycles, your brain processes the day's experiences and integrates new information into your long-term memory. But here's what most people don't know. Your brain can't distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and real ones. When you consistently program your mind with abundance imagery and language right before sleep, Your brain starts treating wealth and prosperity as familiar, expected, normal. This is why athletes use visualization techniques before competitions, why actors rehearse their lines until they become second nature, and why successful people often talk about acting as if until their external reality matches their internal vision. Your subconscious mind is incredibly powerful, but it's also incredibly literal. It believes whatever you tell it consistently and with emotion. Those 7 words that you'll write under your pillow aren't just random positive affirmations. They're specifically designed to bypass the critical faculty of your conscious mind and speak directly to your subconscious programming. They address the 3 main blocks that keep most people stuck in financial struggle: unworthiness, fear of change, and attachment to struggle as identity. Let me tell you about Maria from Chicago, whose story illustrates perfectly how deep these blocks can go. Maria grew up in a family where money was always tight, where her parents fought about bills constantly, where she learned that good people don't have money and that wanting wealth makes you selfish or greedy. Even as an adult with a good job, Maria found herself unconsciously sabotaging every opportunity for financial growth. She would get close to a promotion and then make a mistake that cost her the opportunity. She would save money and then somehow find a reason to spend it all on something she didn't really need. This pattern continued for years until she discovered this pillow technique and began using those 7 words to reprogram her deep-seated beliefs about money and self-worth. The transformation wasn't instant, but it was profound. Within the first month, Maria noticed she was making different choices automatically. Instead of buying expensive coffee every morning, she started making it at home and investing the difference. Instead of avoiding conversations about salary increases, she found herself confidently negotiating for better pay. Instead of feeling guilty about wanting financial security, she began seeing wealth as a tool for helping others and living her purpose. Here's something fascinating that happens when you use this technique consistently. Your dream life begins to change. People report having dreams about receiving money, about successful business ventures, about living in beautiful homes, about traveling to places they've always wanted to visit. These aren't just random dreams. They're your subconscious mind showing you what's possible, preparing you for the reality that's coming. But the most powerful part isn't even the dreams. It's how you start showing up in your waking life. You begin to carry yourself differently, speak differently, make decisions differently. You start operating from abundance instead of scarcity, from possibility instead of limitation, from excitement instead of fear. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you next might be the most important part of this entire technique, and it has to do with the number 7 and why you need to do this for exactly 7 consecutive nights. No more, no less. 7 has been considered a sacred number across cultures and throughout history. 7 chakras, 7 days of creation, 7 wonders of the world, 7 colors in the rainbow, 7 musical notes in a scale. But beyond the mystical significance, there's actual neuroscience behind why 7 repetitions create lasting change in the brain. Research shows that it takes approximately 7 to 10 repetitions for new neural pathways to begin forming, and 7 consecutive days of consistent input creates what neuroscientists call synaptic strengthening. This means that after 7 days of programming your subconscious with those specific words, the new abundance mindset becomes more automatic, more natural, more integrated into your identity. But here's the crucial part that determines whether this works for you or not. You must write those words by hand every single night. You must place the paper under your pillow with intention and gratitude. And you must maintain complete faith in the process, even if you don't see immediate external results. Comment below and let me know if you've ever tried manifestation techniques before and what your experience was like, because I want to address some common mistakes that cause people to give up before the magic happens. The biggest mistake people make with manifestation is looking for evidence too quickly. They write their intentions for 2 or 3 days, don't see money falling from the sky, and conclude that it doesn't work. But manifestation isn't magic in the sense of defying natural laws. It's magic in the sense of aligning with natural laws that most people don't understand. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You water it, give it sunlight, and trust the process. Your financial transformation works the same way. Those 7 nights of consistent programming are like planting and watering the seed. The growth happens underground, invisible to the eye, until one day you see the green shoot breaking through the soil. Let me tell you about Robert from Seattle, whose story perfectly illustrates this principle. Robert was a graphic designer who had been freelancing for years, but could never seem to break through to the next level of income. He would land good clients, complete great work, but somehow always found himself back at square one, struggling to pay bills and find the next project. When Robert discovered this technique, he committed to the full 7 days, even though his logical mind kept telling him it was silly. He wrote those 7 words every night, placed them under his pillow, and went to sleep focusing on gratitude for the abundance that was coming. On day 3, nothing had changed externally, and he almost gave up. But something inside him said to continue. On day 6, Robert received an email from a potential client who had found his work online. This client needed extensive branding work for a new startup and had a budget of $25,000. But here's the interesting part. Robert later discovered that this client had actually visited his website months earlier, but hadn't reached out until that exact week when Robert was doing the pillow technique. The client told Robert that something about his energy and confidence during their phone consultation convinced them that he was the right person for the job. Robert realized that the technique hadn't magically created the client, but it had transformed him into the kind of person who could attract and close high-value opportunities. This is how manifestation really works in the real world. It's not about wishing and hoping. It's about becoming energetically aligned with what you want, so that when opportunities present themselves, you're ready to recognize them, receive them, and act on them effectively. Now, if you're starting to feel excited about trying this tonight, hit that like button because your excitement is actually part of the process. Excitement is a high-frequency emotion that amplifies manifestation, while doubt and skepticism create resistance that blocks the flow of abundance. But let me address the elephant in the room that some of you might be thinking about. You might be wondering if this is some kind of religious practice or if it conflicts with your spiritual beliefs. The beautiful thing about this technique is that it's universal. It works regardless of your religious background because it's based on principles of psychology, neuroscience, and energy that transcend any particular belief system. Whether you see it as prayer, meditation, self-hypnosis, or simple positive psychology, the mechanism is the same. Consistent focus on your desired outcome combined with emotional alignment and physical action. The 7 words themselves are neutral and positive, designed to uplift and empower rather than to invoke any particular deity or spiritual system. Think of it like using electricity. You don't need to understand exactly how electricity works to flip a switch and light up a room. Similarly, you don't need to understand every aspect of how consciousness interacts with reality to use this technique effectively. You just need to follow the process with consistency and trust. Speaking of trust, let me share one more story before we get to those 7 words, because this story will show you why absolute faith in the process is so crucial. Lisa from Boston was a teacher who had been trying to buy her first home for 3 years. Every time she saved enough for a down payment, some unexpected expense would come up and wipe out her savings. Car repairs, medical bills, family emergencies. It seemed like the universe was conspiring against her dream of home ownership. Lisa approached the pillow technique with deep skepticism. She was a logical, analytical person who didn't believe in woo-woo stuff, as she called it. But she was also desperate enough to try anything. She wrote those 7 words for 7 nights, but she did it with doubt, constantly questioning whether she was wasting her time. Interestingly, even with her skepticism, things began to shift. On day 9, Lisa's principal called her into the office to discuss a special grant program for teachers looking to buy homes. This program offered down payment assistance and reduced interest rates. Lisa had never heard of this program, despite working at the school for 5 years. It turned out the program had always existed, but she had never been open to receiving information about it. But here's where Lisa's story gets really interesting. Even though she got approved for the grant and found a perfect house within her budget, she almost didn't follow through with the purchase. Her old programming of unworthiness and fear of change was so strong that she nearly sabotaged this amazing opportunity. It was only when she continued writing those 7 words for another week that she found the courage to complete the home purchase. Lisa's story teaches us that sometimes our own resistance is the biggest obstacle to receiving what we've asked for. The technique works, but we have to be willing to step into the new version of ourselves that can actually receive and maintain the abundance we desire. This brings me to a crucial point about what happens after you complete the 7 days. The technique creates an opening, a shift in your energetic field that makes you more receptive to opportunities. But you still need to take inspired action. You still need to show up, do the work, and make choices that align with your new abundant mindset. The 7 words aren't a magic spell that makes money appear out of thin air. They're a key that unlocks your own power to attract, recognize, and capitalize on the opportunities that are always available to those who are ready to receive them. As we approach the end of part 1, I want you to really feel into what I've been sharing with you. Can you sense the possibility? Can you feel something shifting inside you as you imagine yourself writing those 7 words tonight and placing them under your pillow with complete faith and expectation? In part 2, I'm going to reveal those exact 7 words, but more importantly, I'm going to walk you through the precise ritual for using them, share more incredible success stories, and give you the advanced techniques that will amplify your results exponentially. But before we continue, I need you to make a commitment right now. Are you ready to try this technique with complete dedication for 7 consecutive nights? Are you ready to suspend your disbelief and approach this with the faith of a child who believes in magic? Because that's the energy that creates miracles. That's the frequency that attracts abundance. That's the consciousness that transforms lives. If you're ready to take this journey with me, type "I'm ready" in the comments below so I know you're committed to your transformation. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel because what I'm sharing in part 2 will complete the picture and give you everything you need to start attracting wealth immediately. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with me on this incredible journey of financial transformation. If you're watching part 2, it means you're serious about changing your relationship with money, and I can already feel the shift in energy that's happening for you right now. In this part, I'm going to reveal those 7 powerful words, walk you through the exact ritual step by step, and share the advanced techniques that will supercharge your results beyond anything you've experienced before. But first, let me address something that might be happening to you right now. Some of you might be feeling a strange resistance, a voice in your head telling you this is too good to be true, or that you don't deserve financial abundance. That voice isn't really you. It's your old programming trying to keep you safe in the familiar territory of struggle. Acknowledge that voice with compassion. Thank it for trying to protect you, but don't let it stop you from receiving what's rightfully yours. The 7 words I'm about to share with you have been tested by thousands of people across the globe, from struggling college students to successful entrepreneurs looking to reach the next level. These words work because they address the 3 fundamental aspects of wealth consciousness: worthiness, receptivity, and aligned action. Are you ready? Here are the 7 words that you'll write under your pillow for 7 consecutive nights. I am worthy of unlimited financial abundance now. Now, before you think, that's it? Let me explain why these specific words are so powerful and why changing even one of them diminishes their effectiveness dramatically. Each word has been carefully chosen for its vibrational frequency and its ability to reprogram your subconscious mind at the deepest level. I am are perhaps the 2 most powerful words in any language. When you say, I am, you're making a declaration about your identity, your essence, your fundamental nature. Your subconscious mind takes every I am statement as an absolute truth and begins organizing your reality around that truth. When you consistently declare, I am worthy, You're literally rewiring your neural networks to support this new identity. The word worthy addresses the core wound that keeps most people trapped in financial limitation. Deep down, many of us carry beliefs that we don't deserve abundance, that good things happen to other people, but not to us, that we have to suffer to be spiritual or good. Worthy heals this wound by declaring your inherent value, your birthright to prosperity, your divine entitlement to all good things. Of unlimited breaks through the ceiling of limited thinking that keeps people stuck at certain income levels. Most people have unconscious limits about how much money they can earn or deserve. Maybe they can imagine making $50,000 a year, but not $500,000. Unlimited shatters these artificial boundaries and opens your mind to possibilities beyond your current imagination. Financial abundance is more specific and powerful than just saying money or wealth. Abundance implies not just enough, but more than enough, overflow, surplus. Financial abundance means money flowing to you from multiple sources, easily and effortlessly, in amounts that allow you to live your highest vision and serve others generously. And now creates urgency and immediacy in your subconscious programming. Not someday, not when you're ready, not after you've worked harder or become a better person, but now, in this moment, in this lifetime, starting immediately. Let me tell you about Michael from Las Vegas, who discovered just how precise this wording needs to be. Michael decided to modify the words slightly, thinking he could improve them. Instead of unlimited, he wrote abundant, and instead of now, he wrote soon. After 7 days with his modified version, nothing significant happened. Frustrated but curious, he tried again with the exact 7 words I just gave you. Within 2 weeks, Michael received a job offer with a salary increase of $30,000 annually. The precision matters because your subconscious mind is incredibly literal. It responds to exact frequencies, specific vibrations, particular combinations of sounds and meanings. These 7 words have been calibrated like a tuning fork to resonate with the frequency of financial abundance. Now let's walk through the exact ritual process, step by step, because how you do this is just as important as what you write. First, you'll need a clean piece of white paper and a pen with blue or black ink. Avoid pencils, colored pens, or writing on used paper. The freshness and clarity of your materials reflect the freshness and clarity of your intention. Each night, approximately 30 minutes before your usual bedtime, sit quietly in your bedroom with your paper and pen. Take 3 deep breaths to center yourself, and as you exhale each time, release any stress, worry, or doubt from your day. You want to approach this practice from a state of peace and receptivity. Write the 7 words slowly and deliberately. I am worthy of unlimited financial abundance now. As you write each word, feel its meaning in your body. When you write I am, feel your inherent power and divinity. When you write worthy, feel yourself deserving all good things. When you write unlimited, feel your consciousness expanding beyond all boundaries. When you write financial abundance, visualize money flowing to you like a river. When you write now, feel the immediacy and certainty of your manifestation. After writing the words, hold the paper in both hands and read them aloud 3 times with conviction and feeling. Don't just say the words, embody them. Let them vibrate through your entire being. Then fold the paper in half, place it under your pillow, and as you settle into sleep, repeat the words silently in your mind until you drift off. If this process is resonating with you and you can feel the power in these words, hit that like button and let me know in the comments what you're feeling right now, because your emotional state as you prepare to do this technique will amplify its effectiveness. Here's something crucial that will determine your success with this practice. You must complete all 7 nights consecutively. If you skip a night, even 1 night, you need to start over from day 1. This isn't arbitrary. It's based on the neuroplasticity research I mentioned earlier. Your brain needs 7 consecutive inputs to begin forming new neural pathways and integrating this new identity. I understand that life happens, that you might forget or get distracted or travel unexpectedly. But part of this technique is demonstrating to the universe and to your own subconscious mind that your financial transformation is a priority worthy of consistency and commitment. When you show up for yourself 7 nights in a row, you're proving that you're serious about change. Let me share the story of Patricia from New York City, who learned this lesson the hard way. Patricia started the technique on a Monday night, did it perfectly for 5 consecutive nights, but then went out with friends on Saturday and came home too tired and intoxicated to do her ritual properly. She figured she could just continue on Sunday, but after completing what she thought was her 7th day, nothing happened for weeks. Frustrated, Patricia reached out to someone who had success with the technique, and they explained that she needed to start completely over. Patricia was annoyed at first, but she committed to doing it properly. She started again on a Sunday night and completed all 7 nights without interruption. On day 10 of her 2nd attempt, Patricia received news that she had inherited a small property from a great-aunt she barely knew. The property was worth enough to pay off her student loans completely. Patricia later said that having to start over taught her something valuable about commitment and self-respect. She realized that her casual approach to the first attempt reflected her casual approach to many areas of her life, including money. The discipline required to complete 7 consecutive nights began transforming her character in ways that supported her financial success. Now let's talk about what to expect during those 7 days, because understanding the process will help you navigate any challenges or doubts that arise. The first 3 days are usually the most difficult because your old programming will resist the new information. You might experience increased anxiety about money, unexpected expenses, or dreams about financial stress. This is normal and actually a good sign that something is shifting. Think of it like cleaning out a closet. Before the space becomes organized and beautiful, you have to pull everything out into the open where it looks messy and chaotic. Your subconscious mind is clearing out old beliefs and patterns to make room for the new abundance programming. Days 4 through 6 are typically when you start feeling different. You might notice increased confidence, more optimistic thoughts about your financial future, or sudden insights about new income opportunities. You might also start having vivid dreams about money, success, or prosperity. Pay attention to these dreams because they often contain guidance about actions you should take. Day 7 is often the most powerful because your subconscious mind is fully integrating the new programming. Some people report feeling almost euphoric on day 7, sensing that something major has shifted even though they can't see external evidence yet. But here's where most people make their biggest mistake, and I need you to understand this clearly so you don't sabotage your results. After day 7, you must trust the process and release attachment to how and when your abundance will manifest. The moment you start obsessing over results, checking your bank account every day, or desperately looking for signs, you shift from abundance consciousness back into scarcity consciousness. Stay with me because what I'm about to tell you next is the advanced technique that separates those who see modest results from those who experience life-changing transformations. This advanced method involves amplifying your technique with what I call abundance anchoring. Here's how it works. In addition to writing those 7 words each night, you're going to create physical anchors throughout your day that reinforce your new abundant identity. Every time you touch money, whether it's paying for coffee, receiving change, or even just seeing money, you're going to silently say, "I am worthy of unlimited financial abundance now." Every time you see the number 7 anywhere, on clocks, addresses, license plates, receipts, you're going to take it as a sign from the universe confirming your abundance and silently repeat your 7 words. This creates what psychologists call selective attention, where your brain becomes hyper-aware of abundance-related signals in your environment. Comment below if you've ever noticed how, when you're thinking about buying a particular car, you suddenly see that car everywhere. That's your reticular activating system at work, the part of your brain that filters information and brings important things to your conscious attention. When you use abundance anchoring, you're programming your RAS to notice money opportunities everywhere. Let me tell you about Jessica from Portland, Oregon, who used this advanced technique with incredible results. Jessica was a yoga instructor who loved her work but struggled financially because she believed that spiritual people shouldn't focus on money. She started with the basic 7-day technique, but added the abundance anchoring method I just described. Within the first week, Jessica began noticing things she had never seen before. A help wanted sign at an upscale wellness center she walked past daily, an online course about marketing for yoga teachers that appeared in her social media feed, a conversation between two students about needing private yoga sessions. These opportunities had probably been available before, but Jessica's abundance-focused attention hadn't been tuned to receive them. By acting on these newly visible opportunities, Jessica doubled her income within 3 months. But more importantly, she released the limiting belief that spirituality and prosperity were incompatible. She realized that financial abundance actually enhanced her ability to serve others and live her purpose more fully. This brings me to another crucial aspect of this technique that determines long-term success. You must be prepared to expand your identity and step into a new version of yourself. Abundance isn't just about having more money. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts and maintains wealth. As your external circumstances begin changing, you might feel uncomfortable, like you're wearing clothes that don't quite fit yet. You might be invited to events or opportunities that feel beyond your current self-image. You might receive amounts of money that trigger fear or guilt. This is all part of the expansion process. The key is to breathe through the discomfort and remember that growth always feels awkward at first. A caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly by clinging to its old form. It has to dissolve into something completely different before it can fly. Your financial transformation requires the same kind of metamorphosis. If you're feeling excited about the possibilities I'm describing, and you're ready to start this process tonight, go ahead and subscribe to this channel because I'll be sharing more advanced manifestation techniques and success stories in future videos. Let me address some frequently asked questions that people have about this technique. First, what if I don't see results after 7 days? Remember, this isn't magic that defies natural law. It's a process that aligns you with natural law. Results typically manifest within 2 to 6 weeks after completing the 7 days, though some people see changes immediately and others need a bit more time. Trust the process and stay in abundance consciousness. Second, can I do this technique more than once? Absolutely. Many people do a 7-day cycle every few months to reinforce their abundance programming or when they want to manifest a specific financial goal. However, give yourself at least a month between cycles to allow the previous programming to fully integrate. Third, what if someone else in my household finds the paper under my pillow? This is actually a common concern, especially for people who share beds or have curious children. You can fold the paper very small and place it in an envelope or small pouch under your pillow. The key is that you know it's there and you've set the intention clearly. Now let me share one final story that illustrates the ultimate potential of this technique when combined with unwavering faith and aligned action. Thomas from Chicago was a factory worker who had been laid off during an economic downturn. At 55 years old with limited education and few savings, Thomas felt like his best opportunities were behind him. Thomas discovered this technique through a friend and decided he had nothing to lose. He committed not just to the 7 days of writing, but to completely transforming his relationship with money and his belief about what was possible for his life. Thomas wrote those 7 words every night, used the abundance anchoring technique throughout each day, and began taking inspired actions toward opportunities that felt aligned with his new abundant identity. Within 6 months, Thomas had not only found a new job, but had started a small consulting business helping other factories improve their efficiency based on his decades of experience. Within 2 years, Thomas was earning more money than he had ever made in his life, had purchased his dream home, and had set up college funds for his grandchildren. But Thomas says the most valuable transformation wasn't financial. It was discovering his own power to create change at any age. in any circumstances, with nothing but commitment and faith. He realized that he had always been worthy of abundance. He just needed the right technique to access and activate that worthiness. This is what's possible for you when you approach this technique with complete dedication and open yourself to becoming the abundant version of yourself that already exists within you. You don't have to earn worthiness. You don't have to deserve abundance more than you already do right now. You just have to claim it and align with it consistently. As we come to the end of this transformative training, I want you to feel into this moment. You now have everything you need to begin attracting unlimited financial abundance into your life. You have the 7 words, you have the exact ritual, you have the advanced techniques, and most importantly, you have the understanding of why and how this works. Tonight, when you write, "I am worthy of unlimited financial abundance now," for the first time and place that paper under your pillow, you're not just starting a 7-day practice, you're beginning a new chapter of your life. You're stepping into your power as a conscious creator, as someone who understands that abundance is your birthright, and that you have the ability to align with it at any moment. The universe has been waiting for you to remember your true nature, to step out of the illusion of limitation and into the reality of infinite possibility. Those 7 words are your key, your access code, your invitation to join the ranks of those who live in perpetual abundance, not because they're lucky or special, but because they understand and apply universal principles. But remember, knowledge without action is worthless. Information without implementation creates no change. You can watch 1,000 videos about manifestation, read 100 books about wealth consciousness, attend dozens of seminars about success, but nothing will change in your life until you take that first step, write those first 7 words, and commit to the process with complete faith. I challenge you to start tonight, not next week, not when you feel more ready, but tonight. Your abundant life is waiting for you on the other side of this simple but powerful practice. The only question is, are you ready to claim it? Before you close this video, I want you to do something right now that will anchor this entire experience and set the energy for your transformation. In the comments below, write, "I am worthy of unlimited financial abundance now," and add one specific thing you'll do with your increased income when it arrives. Maybe you'll pay off debt, help family members, travel somewhere special, start a business, or contribute to causes you care about. When you write your intention publicly, you're making a commitment not just to yourself, but to this entire community of people who are choosing abundance over limitation, possibility over fear, faith over doubt. We're all supporting each other's success, and your victory becomes everyone's victory. And if you found value in this training, if you felt something shift inside you as you listened, if you're excited about starting this technique tonight, please share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Financial abundance isn't meant to be hoarded or kept secret. It's meant to be shared and multiplied so that everyone can live their highest potential. Your transformation begins the moment you decide it begins. Your abundant life is calling you forward. Those 7 words are your bridge from where you are to where you want to be. All you have to do is take the first step, and the universe will meet you with everything you need for the journey ahead. Sweet dreams, and welcome to your abundant life. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll explore even more powerful techniques for creating the life of your dreams. Until then, remember, you are worthy. Abundance is your birthright, and your time is now.